I'm just here for support.
You can't see me. That's a blooper. On the real, what's going on out there, YouTube?
Is this recording? Ah, sweet.
This is SEL0320. This is Joe Johnson, Mojo Jojo, aka.
How y'all doing?
We're
AKA
here.
Romans 8. BKA.
You giving people the gamer tag? So alright, yeah, he is Battlefield 4, 3, Bad Company enthusiast. Hit him up on Xbox Live. Mine's is Earlegg 423, EARLLEGG 423. So this is day 2 of the E3 conference. We looked at the digital version of Nintendo's conference, and both of us are really not Wii enthusiasts. I wasn't excited about looking at anything that the Wii U had to do anything. I actually like the Wii better than the Wii U. What did you think about the Wii, or what do you think about Nintendo as of right now, going into it? Before we even looked at it, what were your thoughts?
Well, you know, like, for all of us gamers, I think we all grew up with the Nintendo franchise, so there's much respect and love there. You know, I think they're pretty solid. You know, as far as continuing the Nintendo franchise. If you love Nintendo, you're gonna get a better Nintendo experience. You know.
Sure.
But you know, that's what it is. I liked it for what it was. I liked it for what it was, and yeah, I liked it for what it was.
So we'll break it down for y'all. I got some notes. Joe, I'm gonna let it be you. Hold on.
Okay, so I'm gonna entertain you guys until my boy gets back. You guys know any jokes? What do you get when we cross the elephant and a rhino?
No.
Oh.
I'm just joking. Alright, y'all. So the whole Wii conference and other stuff, it started up with Mr. Reggie. Reggie is, I think, the CFO or CEO of headquarters for Nintendo, and then they've got a main person that they had this interaction. It's kind of like claymation style, like Robot Chicken. I think they had even alluded to that. And when they did it, they started off in kind of like them having this head-to-head kind of battle. And we looked at it, was just an all-black screen, and it was pretty interesting. It was pretty funny, you know. And it all was full centered to Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U. Now, they showed us the video, they showed us the gameplay for it. It was pretty well introduced as far as I was concerned. I was like, okay, Nintendo's on their P's and Q's, you know. They have to show us, like, why would you get the system as opposed to getting something like the PS4 or the Xbox One. So they started out their presentation with the heavy hitters. They started off with that, and then after that they went into, what was the next game? Oh, it was Yoshi. It was Yoshi. So, I mean, between those two, which one did you think kind of like, it's kind of like more innovative, or it kind of sparked your interest in a way?
I'll say the style that the Yoshi was done. It was very cool. It was very creative. I think they interviewed a lot of their designers and game developers, and a lot of those guys, I believe, were from Japan.
Yeah.
So they had to get translators. But it was really interesting to see, like, their take on their approach to game development.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was really interesting. And they kind of let you know the secrets of, like, how they go about the thinking and how they make a game.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, because I don't think a lot of times, like, other developers from different regions will tell you some of their secrets, you know.
Yeah.
And they really, you know, but yeah. But anyway, I definitely like how Yoshi was done. I like how the style it was. It's very creative. I think it was done like inspired by like everything was done in yarn. So it's pretty. If you don't care for Nintendo Yoshi or anything like that, but I would definitely suggest you would take a look at maybe some of the gameplay, some of the trailers.
Yeah.
Because it's very unique, and
Yeah.
it won't be a waste of time.
I agree. So. Even with the Super Smash Brothers, this is the first time they've introduced the little Wii characters, the Miis. And so they use the Mii characters and they have their own styles. They got like a brawler, they had a person that was using like a base weapon, and another person that was a blade user. And you can interact with the different characters. But one of the things that Nintendo did, they talked about the software, but then they implanted certain points about now they have certain hardware. They had this little toy. I can't remember the name of the software, but you could take like a character such as Mario, and he's like a little bitty miniature toy version. When you put it on the Wii U remote, you set it here, he's implanted into the game. And I think the Super Smash Bros. Is the first one that's going to implement this, but they're going to say it in every different game that Nintendo develops. And I think that's the beauty of actually having like every game that you have, you created. You know, you don't have to worry about cross-platform unless you have to. They have more than anything. To me, Nintendo actually has the most exclusives, if you think about it. Okay. In a long time, they just don't. They keep it the way that they want it to, the demographic that they're trying to reach. But the fact that they would take like an object such as that, put a chip in it, interact with it on a surface level with just the controller, and then it gets imported to the game, I thought that was really cool. But then having like the Mii character, you be able to modify and customize and then play Brawl with it, I thought that was pretty cool. And I actually really did like Yoshi as well. I like the way that they used the yarn to interface with every kind of attack and stuff like that. If he ate something, the yarn would kind of ball up to a little ball, kind of gross. But it was pretty interesting. I thought that was really interesting. Now, what kind of got me was when The Legend of Zelda got introduced, because they talked about like the scope of it. And how did they paint the picture? They said, well, they remember like the old school Zelda, where you had like kind of like this one set box where you got like different levels of it, and they wanted to have something. So instead of you kind of using like a ship and going through, and you have to go from island to island to island, they wanted to have like a huge open map. And we looked at it. The first thing we saw was just the plates of grass, and then behind it was just all these different mountains and stuff like that. It looked awesome. The way that they did it, I was like, wow, I'm intrigued by this. This was the first game that actually, I was like, okay, this is actually pretty legit.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Like, what was one of the other things that he had said about that? It was something else.
You see, he was talking about, he also brought up about like how you have the scenic views of the landscape and how it's just peaceful. Mm-hmm. And they said that they liked the stark contrast between the peaceful scenery and the chaotic chaos that just sporadically happens from the villains. And then based off like the trailer and the gameplay, like you really see this villain come out of nowhere, and it's very intense. Like it moves really fast, and he just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, he just like literally like you see like a peaceful plane, and he said pay attention because something might come up and start attacking, and it did. And he had to interact with it, and you think it's kind of cutscene, but it's not. It's real time, which is really awesome. So, I mean, they've definitely pushed the envelope as far as banking on the franchises that they own. And, I mean, they didn't, one of the things I didn't see was, like, Donkey Kong, which I'm glad they didn't go into all that Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong crap. They did talk about a new game called, what was it, Hyrule Warriors. So you take Dynasty Warriors and then take Zelda characters, such as Link, such as the princess, and add them into Dynasty Warrior playstyle. It looked awesome.
It looked pretty good.
And I mean, you like Dynasty Warriors a lot better than me. So, but as far as what you saw, like, what was one of the things that I guess like, you could pick out about it?
Well, I would say from the look of traditional Dynasty Warriors and the enemies that you face. Dynasty Warriors looks like a more serious game. Like just like a more not serious.
You mean like violence, I guess. Tone.
Yes, it's a more realistic tone. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that the graphics or anything look better, but it's like more realist in its style.
Yeah.
This one with the Zelda characters is more stylized. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's stylized, which is cool if you're into that thing. It means it's good. But I would say what I really liked about it was with the Dynasty Warriors. My Dynasty Warriors history was like the attacks.
Yes.
That they showed. The attacks were just the attacks you seen in this trailer were not. You couldn't find attacks similar in Dynasty Warriors. Like they top Dynasty Warriors in attacks like probably like tenfold to me.
Yeah.
I seen Link just demolish
maybe like 15 guys at once.
I'd say 40 at one time, and it's like he used his entire body to hurl through people.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, like you can't do that in Dynasty Warriors. I played most of them. You can't do that. You wouldn't find a Dynasty Warriors game where you could do that.
Yeah.
So that's a plus.
Yeah, that was a thumbs up. We were trying to see and gauge like either a thumbs up or thumbs down. What's the ones that we've talked about to y'all, like to give those basically kind of thumbs up? It's not too kiddish, but at the same time it's kind of innovative enough to keep us intrigued, you know. Another one that surprised me was Mario Maker. Okay, so you got somebody playing Mario. It looks like either Super Mario or just the normal style Mario Brothers. He starts playing it, and then all of a sudden you see him like use like a little pen. You thinking it's a developer, and he starts like changing the size of one of the tubes, or like adding like certain little things to it so he could get to the map quicker. You find out that this is an actual game. So you take any of the old levels you used to play, and you can redo them and remix them however you want to. I'm not sure if the music or even something you can easily change or not, but the fact that you could take the Mario character and be able to take him through all the different kind of mazes that you create, and take like maybe like a shell and you push it one way and it goes and bounces off a whole different way. I thought that was cool. I would love to play. I would actually love to play that on my phone, to be quite honest with you. But the fact that Nintendo took up first, I mean, this might be a franchise builder, to be quite honest with you. What they could do with it. But what was another one? Xenoblade. Now, you remember the one where we were like, is this anime or not? Because basically it starts off and it's spoken in Japanese tongue, dialect was in Japanese writing, and it goes off and it plays off like you looking at an anime. And I remember Xenoblade back before, but the way that they sculpted this one, they've used the Wii U's technology as far as the graphical interface to magnify it a lot more. And it kind of, the scope of it just looks so awesome. It was very beautiful. It literally looked like a hybrid between anime and 3D animation. So I would honestly look at it and I was like, man, this is an awesome looking movie versus like it actually being a game. And so I'm not sure how far they're gonna go into it because it's really just scenes, and so I'm not sure how much is gameplay of it. But I was like really excited for that one, and we were talking about it.
Yeah, from what I seen, they showed one clip, something like they were fighting like a beetle, and it was like a hybrid between RPG and like a hack and slash. Like, it was a faster pace than the RPG, but it was a slower pace than like your hack and slash action game. Like, which is cool because I'm interested in how. I'm interested, like, as far as some of the gameplay, some of the fight sequences that go on, some of the action sequences that go on, because I think also in the trailer, I don't know if this was gameplay or not. It didn't seem like gameplay, but they had like little like mechs, like power suits, with like
Oh yeah,
kind of like these Gundam type.
It really did look like
robots.
a Gundam.
So I'm interested to see how those are gonna play in the gameplay as well. But I think they have different elements in the combat that they have not revealed yet.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I do.
We'll check out.
I do. I mean, one big thing about all this is that through each little intermission, they didn't try to be really clever or too cheeky. They try to keep it very comical with the claymation style, with robot chicken jokes. And I mean, to me, they were just trying to have people feel welcome, you know, instead of trying to convince them that this is the best console. They weren't trying to push for that. They were just trying to add an entertainment value to it. And I was pretty much entertained. To be honest with y'all, like, I really enjoyed most of the time. Like, there was certain points that I was kind of like a little bored, but they showed like a game that, to me, I'll end it on this game. Because to me, I was like, man, the applications of this, what they could do with it. This game is an 8-player, 4 versus 4 territory-based game. It's called Splatoon. And you got this, what looks like a little kid in the first. Actually, no. You got this little puddle. And then you see something crawling in the puddle, and you see it's a squid. Then the squid comes out on the surface, and it ends up being a little girl. And she starts squirting that same exact stuff that you see, the ink from the squid. And you realize that you can interface between the squid and the little girl or the person. And this is what the game encompasses. So you got like a person, when you're trying to go in, first thing you do, you take care of your territory. You start spraying everywhere. Whatever your color is everywhere, so that your team can be able to go in and move into that specific color as a squid and interface with it. They might come really fast out of it and swim, but say if another opposition team has a different color, they could go and spray over your area and do the same exact thing. And so eventually, if you're covered in that same exact stuff, you can't move, but if they spray you, you're gonna die. And I just thought it was crazy. What did you think about it, John?
I thought it was pretty. At first I was like, all right, this is kind of weird, you know. I was like, this is kind of a weird game. Like, I don't get this. This is not my typical shooter, you know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I get with this, but I thought about it and I was like, you know, this is really different and it looks really fun. I was like, I bet if I started playing it, I would not be able to put it down, you know, because it's just, because you wouldn't be able to find to my knowledge, you wouldn't be able to find another game, not on consoles at least, that are quite like this one. Like, like a person that turns into a squid. Like, literally, if you, like, think about that. You're like, how could that work in a game? You know what I'm saying? But check out the footage. Just check out the footage, and it looks addicting. Like, it really looks addicting. Like, not only can you spray your territory with, you know what I'm saying, the ink, your color ink, but you can also shoot people and it will like kill them. Like, it looks like a fun game. Definitely a fun game.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of ways to sneak around, because one thing, I think they had like 3 people in one pile of ink and they were just swimming through, and somebody was walking and spraying the path and they were just following into the enemy territory. Yeah. And then you had another person that was flanking from the left. They went into the ink, went all the way around the enemy territory and came down. And I was like, this looks beautiful. This looks really tight. So, I mean, all around, I had low expectations going into the Nintendo conference. I wasn't expecting much. I wasn't expecting to see anything good, but I was like, we have to follow suit. We did day 1. We need to go and at least check out day 2. And, I mean, to me, I actually enjoyed it. For the time frame, I was tired, because I was tired from work, but it wasn't like anything lacking as far as innovation, as far as the games. And they also talked about their actual system as well, which I said before that I wish Microsoft went more into, but I understand coming from last year's debacle. But I mean, I guess I would give my Nintendo's maybe like a 7.5. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't see any faults in it at all. I'm just not gonna get the system. They haven't wowed me enough to me to get the game, you know. So what do you think? What kind of score would you give them?
I would give them an 8. If not, I'll give them an 8 just based off of the developers' points of view. I was really interested in the developers and their input in like the games and how they went about their theory in making them, the concept behind what they thought. I really enjoyed that, and I really enjoyed the fact that they, like you said, they wasn't trying to, you know, say this is the best platform out there. They were just like, this is what we're making. We're having fun making it.
Exactly.
Have fun with us by playing, you know.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And they do, like, Nintendo does have a market that are dedicated gamers, you know. So, die hard. they have a die hard market. So, I'm just, you know, this Nintendo, man. It's just Nintendo. It's like, you know, the OGs of game creation. So
yeah. So the Nintendo's not dead, y'all.
Not dead.
And I mean, 4 years from now, who knows? I might end up going back to Nintendo.
Right.
You know, I might have kids by then, but but yeah, I mean, I generally enjoyed it. One of the other things that I was going to talk about is that I felt like the way that they treated the foreigners, that foreign developers, the way they did the interpreters, it wasn't like they were just sitting there talking and then they went back and forth. They took the time and let the foreign developers express their feeling, and then the interpreter went in motion with it. It wasn't like a skip of a beat, you know. And I've seen a lot of these where it's like, man, okay, this is one-sided. Somebody could be just saying stuff. But I felt like they took the time to really interview them and let them go in their own perspective of their craft that they're creating, you know. And I really appreciated that. I really did. So that concludes our take or review on the Nintendo conference, day 2. We're still looking at gameplay footage of stuff. We're still gonna come back and actually do the reviews for the different game trailers. Probably maybe tomorrow, if not Thursday. But yeah, we've been looking for like demos for like Hardline. We've been looking for demos for like The Division. Of course, we've been looking for Rainbow Siege. Of course. I've been looking for the Batman Arkham Knight. I don't know what's gonna go down with that, but yeah, man, it's an interesting time to be a gamer. And at this point now, I feel like everybody's a gamer. You know, I don't feel like there's one person that doesn't play a game of some sort. If it's not their phone, if it's not on the game console, if not on the computer, I think everybody always have loved games. But now that you don't have like Monopoly, like cards, or you don't have like little dice, stuff like that as much as you used to, it's gone to the digital age. And so now E3 is for everybody essentially. And so how deep we're gonna go, it depends on you out there. So you ready, man?
Ready.
Alright, dude,
Let's get it.
day 3 tomorrow. Later, y'all.
Have you ever thought about, no, this is bloopers, but have you ever thought about like the actual Mario Kart series? Like, you have guys in a cart racing, and they hurl turtle shells at each other. Like,
And blow each other up.
blow each other up. Like, the sabotage, they throw turtle shells at each other.
Wait, what came first, Twisted Metal or Mario Kart?
I want to say Mario Kart.
Dang, so Twisted Metal stole from them basically.
Oh yeah, definitely Mario Kart came first, because that was on.
Was that on 64?
That went back to the Super Nintendo.
And that's right, because Twisted Metal came out on PlayStation first.
Yeah.
So dang. So I mean, everything that y'all have known from Twisted Metal Black or Twisted Metal, Nintendo. They did it first. And so yeah, you're right, man. That's crazy. Like it goes to show that one person's imagination can literally go through a whole generation and then come back full circle. Because everybody loves Mario Kart. I don't know one person that will not play Mario Kart unless they are just terrible. They still would love to want to try to play.
Most definitely.
So
just if you have Mario Kart, let's say you have, you know, a system on a TV, hooked up to a TV, you have Mario Kart on the TV, and it's like that person's just in that room by themselves, and they just happen to walk by this TV. They'll pick up the controller and start playing. Like,
Yeah.
because it's Mario Kart.
But then the other thing you gotta think about this is, say if we had a Nintendo 64 in here, and we had our door open, we started been playing something like Star Fox or like GoldenEye or something like that. People will rush in here. What are y'all doing? Y'all playing that 64? And so I mean, I can't say that if I was playing like an old school Xbox or an old school PlayStation 1 that people would just rush in here like that. This is the truth, y'all. I mean, to me, even like if I had an Atari and I was playing like Pong, they wouldn't rush in here. So Nintendo is that joint, but they have to refortify how they want to cater to the demographic people. And I mean, right now they're trying to cater to the young adults, and I mean that works, you know, for what they're trying to do right now. But eventually, everybody's gonna want to go full circle and want to be back. Cause I remember like Duck Duck Hunt, where you had like the actual gun, and you could go and like shoot. You know, I mean, that was the first time that you interacted with an outside object interfacing with the TV. They were the first ones to do that. Before there was a Kinect,
That's real.
even before there was a Wii. I mean, I'm sitting there pointing at the TV like I'm trying to shoot something.
True.
That starts already the inception of, man, what if like we were on a war field and trying to, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, thank you, Nintendo. This is for you.
It's for you.
This is for you.
This is for all my. Also, we like to shout out the fallen systems. Dreamcast.
Oh Lord, jeez. That was
Dreamcast was before its time.
That was.
Dreamcast was before its time, bro.
Be honest though, if Sega didn't exist, imagine if there was no Sega and Dreamcast was the only thing that came out. Would Dreamcast still be alive right now?
Wait, what?
Imagine if Sega Genesis, never done. Instead, what came out was just Dreamcast. Just that Dreamcast console by itself. Would it still be going around right now?
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
That's hard to say.
Because, I mean, the Sega Genesis refortified a lot of things, but the Dreamcast, if they had waited, instead of doing Sega Genesis and I think Sega CD or whatever, and just went straight to what they're trying to do with Dreamcast, I think it would have changed the scope. I think that PlayStation wouldn't have been as big as what they were. Microsoft would have got to the marketplace anyway, but Sony, they capitalized with PlayStation.
They did.
And so, I mean, after that, Sega got pushed out. So now, Sega's just doing games. But if they would have done Dreamcast first, But anyway, woulda, shoulda, coulda. It's just interesting talk. We out. Later, everybody. Deuces. Oh, snap.
Get your own box.